Hello and welcome to another part of this chapter, probability. In the previous part, we have discussed about discrete distribution. In this part, we shall discuss about continuous distribution. As I have said that a distribution is discrete or continuous, that depends on the number of spectrums. If the number of spectrums are at most countable, then the distribution is discrete. Otherwise, the distribution is continuous. In continuous distribution, spectrums are infinite and also these are continuous. That means the spectrums are some range. As for example, in continuous distribution, all the points from A to B, these points are spectrums. It may happen that the points from A to B and also the points from C to D, these are also spectrums. In discrete distribution, we have plotted the spectrums and the masses in real line. In continuous distributions also, we can plot the spectrum and the corresponding mass in real line. As I have said that in continuous distribution, the spectrums are in range or some interval. So we first assume that all the points from A to B, these are spectrums. So all the points from A to B, these are spectrums. That means for each and every points from A to B, we have a corresponding mass. So if we plot all the masses from A to B in this graph, then we shall obtain a layer. In fact, a continuous layer from A to B. Something like that. So the masses in this case are nothing but a continuous layer from A to B. So in this case, the mass at a particular point between A to B is the height of this layer. So we can write here the mass at the point X is Fx. So if we assume that the mass at the point X is Fx, that means Fx is the height of this layer at the point X. So if we call this curve as y equal to Fx, then this Fx function is called probability density function. So here we write probability density function, in short we call it PDF. This is the continuous version of probability mass function. PDF is denoted by small fx. Here x means the spectrum. Here we find that the spectrums are all the points from A to B. So remember that for continuous distribution, the function fx determines the height of this layer at any point x. Next we consider properties of PDF. Similar to that of PMF, there are only two properties of PDF. The first one is the mass can't be negative. So in this case, the height of the layer can't be negative. So fx is greater or equal to 0 for all x. This is the first property. And the second property, which is more important, it is given that integration of fx from minus infinity to plus infinity is equal to 1. Now in discrete distribution, we know that sum of all the mass is equal to 1. But in this continuous case, we have a layer of mass. So in this case, the total amount of mass should be equal to 1. And amount of mass is determined by this area bounded by this curve fx and the real axis. So in this case, the total mass is equal to 1. That means total area of the curve bounded by itself and the real axis is equal to 1. And we know that area is determined by integration. So the integration of fx from minus infinity to plus infinity is equal to 1. Now in this particular case, we have assumed that all the points from A to B, these are the spectrums. But in general, spectrums may lie anywhere in the real line. That's why you have taken the range from minus to plus infinity. That means you have to consider all the masses or all the continuous layer which lie between minus infinity to plus infinity. So the sum of the masses, that means the integration of the layer, is equal to 1. So this is the second property. Next we shall define distribution function. This is the definition of distribution function capital Fx. It is the probability of the event from minus infinity up to x including the point x. In discrete distribution, this probability is equal to the sum of the masses from minus infinity up to x. But in continuous distribution, we shall consider the area of the layer from minus infinity up to x. So the distribution function in continuous distribution, this will be the total area from minus infinity up to x occupied by the density curve fx and the real axis. So fx equal to integration of fx from minus infinity up to x. This is the definition of distribution function for continuous distribution. Now if we differentiate this equation with respect to x, then we shall find that f dash x equal to small fx. So in continuous distribution, if we differentiate the distribution function, then we shall obtain the PDF. Next we shall consider the properties of distribution function. We just recall the properties of capital Fx that were discussed in discrete case. The first property is value of fx lies between 0 and 1 for any value of x. The second property is probability of the event from a to b is equal to fb minus fa. The third property is fx is monotonic increasing, and the fourth property is f of minus infinity equal to 0 and f of plus infinity equal to 1. These four properties are same as that of discrete case. The only change here is the property number 5. In discrete case, it was fx was right continuous everywhere but left discontinuous at the spectrum points. But here in continuous case, the function fx is everywhere continuous. So this is the only change in properties of fx. So in continuous case, we have to remember that the function capital Fx is everywhere continuous. We have discussed about this formula. Probability at the point x is equal to f of x minus f of x minus 0. Now in the continuous case, the function fx is everywhere continuous. So this is actually fx is the value of f at the point x, and this is the left hand limit of f at the point x. So if the function is continuous, then it is also left continuous. So these two values are equal for continuous distribution. So for any value of x, we have these two values are equal. Therefore, for any value of x, this is equal to 0. So we have a very useful result that in continuous distribution, probability at a particular point is equal to 0. This is true for any value of x. So we have to remember that for continuous distribution, probability of a particular point is equal to 0. So this is a very useful result. Now consider property number 2. As we know that in continuous distribution, probability at a particular point is 0. So in property number 2, probability of this event can be written as probability of this equal to probability of the event from a to b excluding the point b plus probability at the point b. Now for continuous distribution, this is 0. Probability at a particular point, this is 0. So in continuous distribution, probability of this event is equal to this event. That means in continuous distribution, the probability does not depend on a particular point. That means in continuous distribution, we can exclude or include any point without affecting the probability of the event. So in continuous distribution, probability of this equal to probability of this. Similarly, probability of this function is also equal to probability of this function. So for continuous distribution, less than and less equal to have the same meanings, and also greater than and greater equal to have the same meanings. But in discrete case, these two may not be equal. Next, we consider some important formula that will be useful in solving the problems. We consider this formula, probability of this event. We know that this is equal to fb minus fa, but fb minus fa, this can be written as integration of fx from a to b, where fx is the PDF and capital Fx is the distribution function. So this is very useful result, And we know that in continuous distribution, less than and less equal to have the same meanings. So we can put less equal to here, the result will be same. We have already discussed about this property, that is capital Fx equal to integration of fx from minus infinitive up to x. That means value of capital Fx equal to sum of the masses from minus infinitive up to x. That means in this case area of the layer from minus infinitive up to x. Now if we differentiate this equation, we find this equation. So small fx equal to capital F dash x. That means if PDF is given, we can easily find distribution function by integrating the PDF, and conversely if distribution function is given, then we can easily find the PDF by differentiating the distribution function. One thing to note that, consider this first formula. If the density function is given, we can find this probability by integrating the density function. Also, if the distribution function is given, then we can easily find the value of this probability by just considering FB minus FA. Next, we consider one example. It is given that find the value of k such that fx equal to this represents a PDF, that means probability density function. Hence find capital Fx. So we have to find the distribution function also, and finally we have to find probability of this event from mu to 2 mu. So fx is given, so our first target is to find the value of k, and this can be found by using the properties of PDF. We know this property of PDF, that is integration of fx from minus infinitive to plus infinitive is equal to 1. Now we can put the value of fx in this integration. Now replacing the value of fx in this integration, we find that k is a constant which is independent of x, so we can take this k outside the integration, and the remaining terms can be integrated easily. It is tan inverse of this. Now replacing the limits, if we put the upper limit infinitive, then tan inverse infinitive is equal to pi by 2, minus if we put the lower limit minus infinitive, then tan inverse minus infinitive is equal to minus pi by 2. So after calculating this, we find that k equal to lambda by pi. So if we put the value of k in fx, then we find that fx equal to lambda by pi into 1 by lambda square plus x minus mu whole square. And since fx can't be negative, so lambda must be positive. So the first part is done. The value of k, that is lambda by pi, for which this fx is a PDF. This distribution is called Cauchy distribution. Next we have to find the capital Fx, the distribution function. We know that this is the formula of capital Fx. Capital Fx is equal to integration of fx from minus infinitive up to x. Now replacing the value of fx, we have obtained the value of fx equal to this. Now lambda by pi is a constant, so we can take this outside the integration. The integration of the remaining terms, this is equal to tan inverse x minus mu by lambda. After the integration, if we put the upper limit, then it is x, so tan inverse x minus mu by lambda, minus if we put the lower limit, that is minus infinitive, so tan inverse minus infinitive equal to minus pi by 2. So ultimately this is 1 by pi into tan inverse x minus mu by lambda plus pi by 2. So this is the distribution function capital Fx, where x varies from minus infinitive to plus infinitive. So we can write here x varies from minus infinitive to plus infinitive, because fx is valid from minus infinitive to plus infinitive, so capital Fx is also valid from minus infinitive to plus infinitive. So second part is also done. Finally we have to obtain this probability of the event from mu to 2 mu, and by the formula we know that this is fb minus fa, so it is f of 2 mu minus f of mu. Now we have already obtained the distribution function, so we can easily replace the value of fx in this equation to find the value of the required probability. So f of 2 mu equal to this. So if we replace x equal to 2 mu, then we find this one, minus if we replace x equal to mu, then we have tan inverse 0 plus pi by 2. So this is f of mu So this is f of 2 mu minus f of mu. Now cancelling these two terms, we find that this is ultimately 1 by pi into tan inverse mu by lambda. So this is the required probability. So that completes the solution. We consider one more example. Suppose there is a target board which contains 3 concentric circles. The radius of the innermost circle is 1 by root 3. The radius of the next circle is 1, and finally the radius of the outermost circle is root 3. Suppose a shot is fired, and if it falls in the innermost circle, then we shall get 3 points. If it falls within the next circle, then we get 2 points. If the shot falls in this circle, within this circle, then we get 1 point, and finally if the shot falls outside, then we get 0 point. And also the probability density function representing the distance of the shot from the center is given by this, where r is the distance of the point of hit from the center. So the PDF representing the distance of the shot from the center is given by this. Now we have to find the probability distribution of the score. I have selected this problem because this is a special type of problem where we have both continuous distribution and discrete distribution. Here we find that this is a PDF, so we have a continuous distribution. Then we have to find the probability distribution of the score, that will be a discrete distribution. So we start the solution here. We consider two random variables. Capital R, this is the distance from the center, and capital X, this is the point or the score. So by the given condition, the PDF representing the distance from the center is given by this, and X is the point of or score. Now we find that there are only 4 different scores are possible. If the shot falls outside the outermost circle, we get 0 point. If it falls in this circle, we get 1. If it falls there, we get 2. And if it falls inside the innermost circle, we get 3 points. So the different scores that are possible, these are 0, 1, 2 and 3. So actually these are the spectrums of the random variable X. Next we have to find the corresponding probabilities. So first we find the probability of X equal to 0. Now we get the score X equal to 0 if the target falls outside the outermost circle. That means distance of the point from the center should be greater than root 3. So we get the point 0 if the target falls outside the outermost circle, that is the distance from the center should be greater than root 3. So we get 0 point if the target falls from root 3 to infinity. That means the distance from the center should be greater than root 3, that means from root 3 to infinity. So we have to find this probability. So replacing the value of FR, we can easily integrate this, and after the integration and replacing the limits, we find that probability of X equal to 0 is equal to 1 by 3. So the probability that we shall get the point 0 is 1/3. Next we shall find the probability of the remaining events. We consider the next score 1. So we get the point 1 if the shot falls within these two circles. That means the distance from the center should be greater than 1 and less than root 3. So we get the point 1 if the distance from the center should be greater than 1 and less equal to root 3. The probability of X equal to 1 should be integration of FR from 1 to root 3. Now replacing the value of FR and after the integration replacing the limits, we find that this probability is equal to 1 by 6. So this is a very simple calculation. You can easily find that. Next score is 2. We get 2 points if the shot falls within these two circles. That means the distance from the center should be greater than 1 by root 3 and less than 1. So the probability of X equal to 2 is integration of FR from 1 by root 3 to 1, replacing the value of FR, and after the integration replacing the limits, we have a very simple calculation, that is 1 by 6. So probability of the event X equal to 2 is 1 by 6. Finally, we get 3 points if the shot falls within the innermost circle. That is, the distance from the center should be less than 1 by root 3. So probability of x equal to 3, this is the integration of fr from 0 to 1 by root 3. Now replacing the value of fr, and after the integration we find that this is 1 by 3. So we have the 4 probabilities at the 4 spectrum points 0, 1, 2, 3. So we can write the probability mass function here. This is the required probability mass function where the spectrums are denoted by xi. So there are 4 spectrums 0, 1, 2, 3, and the corresponding masses are denoted by fxi. So 1 by 3, 1 by 6, 1 by 6 and 1 by 3. So if we add all the masses, then it will be equal to 1. So this is the required distribution of the score. So that completes the solution, and with this we complete this part also. In the next part we shall consider some important distributions. Until then, thanks for watching.